All right, guys, part two of the starting a clothing company. The first one we talked about is the screen printing and getting your artwork ready. Very, very simple and quick instructions is what I gave you. If you have any questions, the number's up top 480-226-8098. You can talk to me about it and ask me some questions, whatever. No problem answering questions for competing clothing companies. I have no problem with that. There's plenty of work and plenty of money to go around for everybody. So let's talk. Let's see. Let's talk about, I guess, the capital. What it's going to take to start a clothing company. Um, First and foremost, you need to have a website because without a website, you can't really direct anybody to see what you have as far as design wise goes. So there are different options out there. A friend of mine, he did he went on his own and he bought a hosting service with I think GoDaddy, and some of them have free web building programs, stuff like that. There's also WordPress is a very popular one. It's really a blog type of program. It's basically you upload it to your server, and you can basically start running a website off of it. It has a bunch of different themes. You can also purchase um, different themes that make it look different and whatnot. So I guess on the low end to get a website going, you're looking at about $100 for the hosting for 2 years. Maybe $10 for your domain for a year, and then another on the high end maybe $45 for a custom theme, or I guess a pre-made theme for your WordPress. So I guess that's what, like 150, 160 bucks, something like that for a website. That's a really good. That's really low. It's something you can just put up just for now until you start getting more capital. So 160 bucks isn't really too far out of your range to start. It's not a lot of money, I don't think, to start a clothing company to really get it going. Now, aside from the advertising and all that sort of thing, you have to start looking at your legal issues. Of course, you have to register it with the state. You have to get yourself your wholesale license, get yourself an EIN number, all that sorts of stuff. And here at 8280 Creative, we help you get to that stuff mostly within Arizona and the city of Mesa. City of Mesa is the easiest city, I think, that you can get a business a license or a business name and a wholesale account with wholesale license with, and you can use your wholesale license with any distributor in the United States or even outside the United States if need be. Um, we currently have distributorships with Dickies, with another company out here that gives out that sells blank apparel. And all you need is your social security number. Um, you know, you have to get that stuff taken care of because then, of course, you can open up a bank account and then open up a PayPal account. So there's a bunch of things that you need to do, but it's not that hard. It's not that that expensive to do. Getting a wholesale account, I believe, or a wholesale license is like $50, and getting your name registered with the state is another 10. So enough apparel company um, is registered with the state. So is EAC, and so is HSHB, and a couple other different varieties of the name. We have registered with the state. Only because you don't, if you do start getting popular, you don't want anybody else out there taking your name. So you kind of want to protect yourself, and for $10 a name, it's super cheap to do. Um, aside from, so you got your website, 160 bucks. You have you're not your name, your trade name, another $10. Your 170, and then your wholesale, another 50. So you're looking at two and some change, right? So 200 and some change to get your business name, your website going, and that's good. So we're looking at 250. Now when it comes to printing, that all depends on how you go about doing it, how many colors, how many shirts, that sort of thing. Um, 8280 Creative, we have in-house printing, but we also outsource some of our things to a printer that we use very, very frequently. Um, his rates are super great. They're not expensive like a lot of people are. And on top of that, we get our own apparel, so we don't use the crappy Gildan shirts. We use these nice fitted, really thin, not really thin, but I mean they're really comfortable shirts. They don't shrink on you. nothing like that. So we can get all that stuff and then use the printer separately rather than going to, like, let's say, not to badmouth their names, but Rockstar is a big screen printer on Craigslist right now, and they advertise like $1.50 for a white shirt, one print, one side. They're giving you a shitty shirt though. You know what I mean? You don't want to sell your shitty shirt for $10 or even $15. To somebody who gets that shirt and it's like, shit, it shrunk on me the first time I used it. So there's a lot of things that are involved with the clothing company. You want to have a good product. You want to have a good print, a solid print. It's gonna last long on your apparel, and then of course a nice shirt that's gonna feel good when you're wearing it, and people aren't gonna be pissed off that they shrunk. So, um, all those things matter when it comes to printing. But the one buddy that we're helping right now is Cali Cartel. He's restructuring his company right now with my advice, and hopefully with the guidance that I'm giving him, it's gonna streamline his company a little bit better and help with the cost. He was doing 3 or 4 color prints, and he was only getting 1 or 2 orders at a time, and that's not good, because then now you have to go and buy yourself 12 or 24 minimum order of those shirts, and that gets pretty pricey when it comes to 4 color shirts. So with 8280 Creative, we can produce a minimum of 12 shirts at about, I want to say it's going to be about $8 a shirt, 1 color print, one side. Um, but it's a good shirt. It's like a $3 shirt, something like that. Um, so yeah, capital to start off with, $500 is pretty good. It's a lot of money for someone who has a regular day job and wants to start something on the side. But you got to figure, if you already have a hobby like RC cars, or going out drinking or whatever, $500 is easy to find. So um, it doesn't take that much to start a clothing company, but what it does take is a lot of time and a lot of commitment on producing and developing your company. Okay, you can't just go out and get yourself a WordPress website and think that it's going to do the best. One of these days you'll have to bite the bullet and pay somebody to develop a decent website that looks like you want it to look and that matches your style. Because these WordPress sites and the free site builders, they're generic. They look generic. Um, that's what we're trying to do for Caliber Cartels. We're going to try to build him a nice site that he can be competitive with his other, his competitors, and hopefully be better than what they are and produce better than what they can. And of course, capital is low, but there's still a chance to do it. You know what I mean? So um, let me think what else. Of course, business cards are a big deal. Flyers are a big deal, and 8280 Creative, we produce, I think, 45 dollars you get 1,000 business cards, and I think for 100 and, don't quote me on this, 140 bucks, $149 you get 1,000 4x6 postcards to use to throw out at different places to start advertising your company. But of course, you need to have a website, you need to have a phone number, blah blah blah, all that other stuff. So um, I guess, if you guys have any questions, give us a call for it, 02268098. Email me at chris@8280.com. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. I want to see, all the little guys succeed, because in this time, it's our time to rise above the big dogs and actually start producing money for ourselves rather than working for the big guy, or even going out to the malls and buying our own clothes. I honestly, I never, I I have one shirt, I think, that's from a mall, and it's an infamous shirt, and the only reason why I liked it is because of the design that was on it. Um, but other than that, I wear all of enough. I wear enough clothing, and I wear blank shirts. I don't like going out and spending $25 on a shirt that everybody else has. And that's another good thing. That's a good point, that if you produce something that is unique, that is within uh, today's style, people are gonna gobble that shit up. They don't. A lot of people don't want to look like the next person. They want to have a different style. You're not gonna go to the mall, right, and go pick out a shirt that the guy that just a guy just picked out. I don't know. I guess with me, it's just a little weird to do that. So that's why I like to develop as many different yeah, I can keep on going. You know what I mean? Many different designs as possible. You know, and hopefully somebody likes them, and if I can get one person to buy one, that's my goal. You know, because then they'll like it and they'll want to get some more. All right, I guess that's it. It's been like 10 minutes, and I think I should stop. I'm gonna do another one too. I got something else to talk about, um, and it has to do with the clothing company. So, come right back. I'm gonna stop this one, save it, and I'll be back here in a minute.